Hello, and welcome back to Soul Spy University, Halloween edition, in case you can't tell. For those of you that don't look at the screen, the ones that do look at the screen can tell it's Halloween edition. I'm here as a pumpkin. Tommy is here. So Tommy's going to enlighten us today with an amazing Halloween story about folklore and whatever else. I think jack-o'-lanterns, and I am excited. I don't want to spread fear for Halloween, but I do want to incite curiosity and, insight, etc. So my pumpkin self is happy and excited for Tommy's story. Let's stay tuned, everybody. Go ahead, Tommy. There's apparently folklore of pumpkins. Let's go, Tommy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Welcome.
Happy Halloween. Also, Samhain. I think that's how they're pronouncing it. But that is the ancient Celtic way. This is what this was called, Samhain. Oh. It was the Celtic celebration of this, the harvest.
Harvest, yeah.
And so this was celebrated over 3 days with all the families putting fires, little bonfires in their houses.
Yeah.
Yes. and on the main day of it, the third day or the second day, they would all make a big bonfire. They would sacrifice cattle.
Oh wow! I didn't know we were going here. Okay.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is the starting point of Halloween.
Oh, for real? This is how Halloween happened?
Yeah, this is how it happened. So they would sacrifice animals. They would party like crazy, and this went on for 3 days.
I like partying, but I'm okay.
And they would drink, they would feast, and each night each family would take a part of the actual bonfire that they were celebrating around back to their homes. And this was considered a super important holiday. You could not cause any crime, anything like that. They took this very seriously. If you caused any crime, you can face death on these days.
I wonder if that's how Mischief Night came about. It's like get it all out before Halloween.
Maybe. So also that they believe that this time of year was like the thinnest the veil between life and death exists. And but they had, monsters and everything. They didn't have like regular human spirits. They considered like everything on the other side was like it's not just bad. It's also like we call them monsters, but they call them like the spirit that would help with this, or they believed in fairies and they believed in all kinds of different
Okay.
So they would leave out different offerings for them. They would they would make like cakes, and they would make leave a dead rabbit or like stuff like that. That would be their treats.
Yes. Oh wait, dead rabbit. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, they're feeding the spirits. So yeah. So they would give them animals and everything, and like fruits and vegetables and all kinds of stuff as their treats. So to offer up, so that they keep them safe. So that's that. Let's get started into that other stuff, the folklore of stuff. So I didn't go into crazy detail here, but I looked up two, one of which is, I was like, why? Because everybody's seen, like when you hear about a witch and all that stuff, they're always riding a broom. So one of the things about this festival is that it's also
some of them though got a RWI,
riding while intoxicated.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Oh
my god, my parent humor. Oh,
there was a
happened when we have to be serious for the first two podcasts. It's like what?
Yeah, it comes. Well, I mean, the last podcast was pretty good. Which you bouncing around with your boxing gloves and everything.
Trying to get it out of my system.
So there was a depiction of the Celtic celebration in 1451. So it was basically them showing the people riding around, not riding around, but jumping, dancing around with household appliances,
Okay.
brooms,
Like
pitchfork.
vacuums?
Well, no vacuums back then, but brooms was
Thank
their
God.
main vacuum.
So the dogs were happy. Okay.
So they were showing them dancing around with that, and most of them were women that danced around with the brooms. This was considered to be, and they also did this for Halloween, but they did it throughout the year, and turns out that it was a fertility festival, a fertility dance thing, to keep them fertile and to keep the crops fertile and the land, like to keep everything growing and keeping them alive. So that's one basis of the witches riding broom. Then they started saying like this devolved into the stories of them riding brooms to go into secret meetings and go into orgies and committing atrocities and sacrificing kids and everything. And this happened pretty quick. Yeah, well, this is witches. This is witches that everybody's like, let me dress like a witch for Halloween.
Oh my God, you're making them look so bad. Oh, yeah, Tommy. Everything was fun, sacrificing living beings. What are you doing?
Well, it was the basis of their depiction of what witches were. Nowadays, modern day witch don't believe in witches, or Wiccans don't believe in this stuff. They don't do this stuff. For the most part, they actually do like healing magic, quote unquote.
Now, did all witches do this?
They were considered to have done this. They didn't really see they didn't see the difference between any of them. Once they considered someone a witch, they were doing evil stuff. Even if they were helping everyone, they were obviously killing people. They were obviously doing something in everybody's minds back then. So
okay, so people's perceptions, it's not fact.
No, not fact at all.
Okay, good for everybody.
It was completely based on fear. Completely based on fear. Something you don't know.
Didn't know they were doing that.
No, not at all. We didn't even know they were witches. They were probably normal ass people doing, oh, this woman was skipping in the forest. She's a witch. It's like, oh, back then.
But even like the idea of a witch wasn't correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
They were.
It might be like kind of like nowadays where like certain people of certain clubs are, say Scientology, it's like they have a bad rap. But like perhaps there's people of these clubs that aren't bad people and would never do such things. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or don't even know about it.
Oh, yeah. But back then, it was an easy way to blame somebody for something that you couldn't understand. Even if it was something simple, like they helped heal somebody by like, giving them herbs and everything. If anybody like was like, oh, this is witchcraft, they basically didn't ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, I know we veered a little bit, but this was actually called the broomstick dance, and it was done under the full moons, and it was most prevalent during Halloween, this time of year. And it was originally meant for something good, and of course, like a lot of things, people warped it into something really, really bad.
In the broom, God only knows what they're doing with it. God only knows.
So yeah, that's the story of witches and brooms. Now,
or itches and brooms.
What?
Oh, come on.
Okay, all right. I see what you're saying there. Bitches and brooms.
Dude, I know, but we're trying not to curse on this channel. And you know about that site. Don't even lie. Don't even pretend you don't know about bitches and brooms.
First of all, it's not a site. It's a genre. And it got, I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't watch that stuff.
Watch what's, oh my God. I was totally getting, I was a little more, it was a step more kosher than where you're at, although before I wasn't. So interesting. Whatever. We're good. We're good. You're right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's the story of witches, bitches and brooms. Now let's get to the other one. As Christina is dressed like a pumpkin, I think, yellow pumpkin,
It's an old costume. You know,
and
it's a perception of the eyes.
and you see that she has pumpkins behind her, and it's led me because
Nice, I like nice ghosty. Hey,
oh,
little
and a little ghost. If you look, you see him right there. So which led me to like wonder, it's like, what the hell are all these pumpkin things from? Like, what's the story on pumpkins?
Oh my
So
God,
the
it's
jackal.
hard to do, and yet I'm doing it. See how I'm petting the ghost, everybody? It's like a long way away behind me. Hello, ghost. You know, ghost, when I'm mad at Tommy, this is what I do to his head.
All right.
Hello, little ghost. Hello.
So the jack-o'-lantern. It was originally, well, here's the story of stingy.
Friend named Jack-o'-lantern?
No. The story of the jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
The pumpkins is a story of Stingy Jack. Now, Stingy Jack, he had invited the devil. This is the story of in Ireland. He invited the devil to go drinking.
Now, is he a pumpkin?
Not yet. Well, not at all, actually. But listen.
I did not know this was story time with Tommy. This is so fun.
It's a story time with Tommy. Here, everybody, have a seat.
Story time with Tommy.
So, Stingy Jack invited the devil to go drinking with him. And so, by his name, he didn't want to pay the bill.
Can we pause? Why would he do that? He didn't have, nobody else answered him that night? What is going on?
Apparently not, but they didn't really specify. This is the folklore of Ireland, that this is where jack-o'-lanterns come from. So listen up. So he went drinking with the devil, and he said he had no money to pay, or he didn't want to pay. So he convinced the devil to turn into a coin so that he can pay for the bill so that they can drink. So I don't know how he convinced the devil, but whatever. So he did. So the devil was like, sure, why not? Turn into a coin. And the reason they call him stingy is that he decided, oh, let me not spend the money, the coin that he did. He put the coin that was the devil into his pocket next to a silver cross so that the devil could not turn back into normal. Now, apparently Stingy Jack was considered to be like, he was a lowlife. So maybe that's why he was hanging out with the devil or whatever. So he told the devil, I'll let you go if you promise if I die in the next year, you won't come for my soul. So the devil's like, fine, whatever. He lets him go. 1 year passes. Time goes on, the devil comes back. And somehow, some way, Stingy Jack convinces the devil, hey, go into that tree and get that fruit for us. As this is making the devil seem like a real stupid idiot, but the devil says, okay. So the devil goes climbing into a tree. Okay, so back to the thing. He convinces the devil somehow to climb a tree and get some fruit. And so the devil's like, sure, I'm a freaking idiot. He starts climbing, and Stingy Jack decides to, he carves a cross at the base of the tree, which traps the devil in the tree. And to convince, like, he was like, listen, I know the only reason you came back is because you want my soul. I will let you go if within the next 10 years, if I die, you will not come for my soul. So the devil's like, cursing him out and all that nonsense. And it's like, fine, you let me go. I won't come for your soul in the next 10 years. So he does. So within that 10-year period, Stingy Jack actually dies. And now the tale goes that God in heaven saw all his little antics and was like, we don't want this guy in heaven. There's like, no, this is not happening. And the devil, being true to his word, and this happened within a 10-year span, before the 10-year span was over, said, you know what? I gave my word, I'm not going to take your soul, but I don't want you down in hell either. So he gave him, he cursed him to walk the earth forever. And he gave him a burning coal from hell to light his way. And so Stingy Jack, since he apparently liked to carved into a, what is it? What the hell is it? Is it a radish? Give me 1 second. Oh, into a turnip. He carved a turnip, and that's where he placed the coal. And now it's considered that he walks the earth forever because heaven doesn't want him and hell refuses to take him. And that is, and they call him in Ireland Jack of Lanterns because he's always at night and you see him with the coal in the turnip. Well, that's where the story of pumpkin carving and putting light in it comes from.
Oh, so he put the coal in the turnip so he could carry it.
Basically.
And then it's like he made it into some sort of lantern?
Yeah, because it's burning coal, so it's light. And he hollowed out the turnip apparently, which is ridiculous because turnip's this big, and he put it in there. So that's where it comes from. That's where the whole thing of getting pumpkins and carving pumpkins and putting a light in it comes from.
Wow.
It's a really weird one. I did not think that was something that it's like a turnip. Where the hell did you get a pumpkin from then?
Wow.
But those are my stories.
Wow.
Boring maybe, but I thought it were fascinating.
Well, don't. Anyway.
I believe they're fascinating.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I wish I knew it was story time with Tommy tonight. I would have gotten even more excited. I wish we had candles everywhere.
Oh, I do. Cool.
Would you have more stories?
I have no more stories, and I blew out my candle.
Wow. You're a winner.
There. I should have done this the whole entire time while I was talking about that.
Yes, it is now your job to find more stories.
Well, I do have one more story. It's not really crazy, but back in Connecticut in the early 1800s, people were dying of consumption. And since the family was dying too afterwards, they believed that the first person that was dying were vampires and that they were coming back to life after they died and killing everyone else. So they started the practice of disemboweling a body after it dies so that they won't come back to life. Boo!
I'm confused.
They thought they were vampires.
Wait, but how did they start dying? Consumption?
Consumption. It's an old-timey disease.
Consumption? Meaning they were eating? They were eating.
No. Consumption. It's basically the body's eating itself.
Oh.
And you start coughing up blood. It's a lung disease, I think.
Oh, okay. Instead of researching the disease, they were like, vampires, and just started tearing.
Well, 1800s, they're not researching anything back then. But yeah, they're like, they're vampires. They're going to kill us all. So after a person dies, they rip out all their organs. And it became a big practice in Connecticut, in Rhode Island, and all around that nonsense. Oh, and some parts of Boston.
Wow.
There's another story.
What do you know about the Headless Horseman?
It's not as impressive as you would think. It was basically a guy that was a storyteller, and he wanted to make up a nice story. It was not
Like you,
not. Yes.
but you still have a
Like,
head.
what's that?
But you still have a head, so.
Do I? Do I have my head?
I don't think so. I don't think anything on you is yours. I think you're just sort of a scrapped together meat suit that I don't even know has a soul. Like maybe a clone. I'm gonna have a drink. A drink sounds amazing.
But
But I do admire
yeah,
your candle.
the Headless Horseman thing is basically a storyteller that was like he made up a scary story. From what I've gathered so far from it,
head?
that the whole story about Ichabod Crane and everything, and he moved to Terrytown and he wanted to make like he wanted to add the town into it to make the story feel more real, and that's why people love the story.
Okay. What's
But
the story? And is it true?
the Headless Horseman story. No, it's not true.
What is it? What is the Headless Horseman?
The Headless Horseman is Ichabod Crane. He lost his head in. I think he was. I got his head. He got his head cut off in. He was like doing some kind of crime or some nonsense. Anyway, he was searching throughout the night to get his head back. So he took a jack-o'-lantern and he would hold jack-o'-lantern as his proxy head, always riding around town searching for it.
Okay, actually, this sounds pretty metaphorical. You know, I've never heard this before. I heard of the Headless Horseman, but I never knew what it was about. But perhaps it's just some guy that, quote unquote, lost his head over some chick, and he's just like, rah! And he's drinking around some stuff, and he's just raging, and he's literally holding his cell phone as a light or some sort of light to sort of like, you know, run it out, so they say. But really what he's doing is looking for her, which is his head, because then he'll have his head once he finds her.
Sure. So he was basically stumbling around town like, Lisa.
Is that her name? Oh, well, I just made that up, so how would I know? Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I got for the Halloween portion. That's basically it. There's a bunch of stories. I didn't want to go too crazy. There are really scary stories out there, but most of them are 99% of them are ghosts. One or two are like, oh, the chupacabra came out and sucked the blood from my dog. It's like, all right.
Well, interesting you say that, because Tom actually did bring up a week and a half ago Skinwalker Ranch as something for him and I to research. And as open-minded as I am, I will be researching this with him. So we will get into that. I have heard of it. I haven't went near it before. I thought it had something to do with Betty and Barney Hill. This is all alien UFO stuff. If you're in the UFO community at all, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. But if not, we will be on this. I think there's reasons I haven't went near it. However, it's Halloween season. I guess we go into it.
Honestly, I thought it was about werewolves because Native American tribes call werewolves skinwalkers, and that people can transform into different animals. So when I saw the title, I was like, and then I read about it. I'm like, wait, why the hell? It's called Skinwalker Ranch, but it has nothing to do with werewolves at all.
Also, this just came to me before I forget. I don't want to spread fear to people, but Mercury retrograde is starting Monday, September 27th, which is in a day. And we're supposed to be in October right now. Anyway, yeah. Mercury retrograde ends on October 18th. The shadows do matter, pre-shadow and post-shadow. So for 2 weeks before the 27th of September, it matters. 2 weeks after the 18th of October, it matters. Still be careful. I know there's now a pre-shadow phase, which probably covered my birthday 2 weeks before the shadow. And I don't know if there's a post-shadow, which is also post.
Oh God, with this. And to everybody else like me, this is bullshit.
It is not to anyone who follows astrology and realizes what the is going on, because It's crazy out there right now. So I'm not trying to spread fear. All I'm saying is double dot your I's, double cross your T's, you know. Speaking in person is better than on the phone. On the phone is better than text. Leave earlier. There might be detours in the road or accidents. I'm just getting text right now. And, you know, lots of things to just be super careful and do it slowly and good the first time so you don't have to do it the second time. And just be really careful out there. That's all. It's just time to be careful. I feel it's the universe having a PMS or something. And everyone comes out better in the end after a Mercury retrograde. However, during it will feel like a shift. I love that candle going on. Good job.
Yeah, I should do the hood.
Yes, very good.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe. I can't do that. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that notification bell. You know, so that we don't disappear. And
we will disappear.
Comment down below.
We will disappear. If you don't hit that notification bell.
Comment, leave stuff you want to hear about, talk about, all that stuff. And if you want to get into a nice session with Christina, you can find her at
soulspyuniversity@gmail.com. Also, guys, there's always a donation link in each video in case you want to donate to the cause of the continuation of these videos.
Yes. And be careful for Mercury retrograde. Ooh. It's bullshit.
It's not. It is not. Namaste, everybody, and have an amazing Halloween season where the veil is thinner. Thinnest it's been all year, which can be a very good thing. I love the smoke going on in your house. You should have left that candle on. But yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the feelings of fall. Enjoy the feelings of Halloween. Enjoy that the veil is the thinnest, and really, really enjoy this Halloween season, guys. Just like
happy Halloween, everyone.
Just like you did when you were kids. Bye.
Bye.